What's going on, everybody? RaccoonEggs here, and welcome to my 100k Q&A. And before I get into it, I just want to give a very sincere and not sarcastic apology for being 25k subs late.
You're fucking late, you pussy ass bitch. Where the fuck is the upload, you cunt? I told you to fucking upload now. No, I told you to fucking upload again. You're late. And I'm waiting for more fucking subs. No.
But enough of that shit. It wouldn't be a milestone video if I didn't give you guys a huge thank you for subscribing and supporting the content. Ever since around New Year's, the channel growth has been insane, and it's really opened this up for me as a potential career, and that alone is crazy to think about, the fact that I could make stupid ass videos now as a full-time job. So I really do owe you guys 1,000 thank yous. I'll count them out. Thank you. Thank you. I'll do them later. I suppose this might also be a good time to shout out my podcast that I do with a couple of my fellow YouTubers, where you can find more of my retarded sense of humor in lethal doses. And I've also started up a second channel called RaccoonEggs, where I'll occasionally be uploading shit that doesn't fit on my main channel. You should go sub to these things. They're in my sub box. Anyway, now that we've got that shit out of the way, let's get into the Q&A. I asked you guys on Twitter to send me some generic questions for my 100k video, so let's see what you fuckers spat out. What will you be doing in the future, meaning what types of videos? I'm gonna be completely rebranding into a cooking channel. Here's a preview of what you can expect. Alright, and once you've got your pan all preheated, here's where we're gonna add the gasoline, so let's go. Jesus fucking! What's your favorite color? This. Why does my dad beat me? Because you're a little bitch that doesn't fight back. Why did my father leave me? Why didn't he come back? The reason he left was to grab a beer, and the reason he didn't come back was that he got arrested for underage drinking. How did you get so big on YouTube? I don't know what this is, but no. Where do you go to school? That's a bit creepy, let's rephrase that. Do you have college? I am technically enrolled in college, but I'm currently taking time off to try YouTube full-time. The only reason I ever really went to college was because I had the premonition it was required if I wanted a high-paying job one day, but obviously now I've kind of found a loophole in that. There are a few other things I want to do with my life outside of just YouTube that would probably require a college education to be good at, so I'm gonna go back one day, and if I don't, I hope my parents force me to. What's your favorite song? What is your favorite drink? Soft drink? Love the vids, keep it up. No, soda is fucking disgusting. I only drink bath water. How did you meet the crew? Fitz, Cryos, John on the radio, and etc. I met Fitz on a surf server when he had about 500k and I had about 3k, and accidentally made it into one of his videos, so I commented this, and then he followed me, said my content was good, invited me to play CS, and introduced me to everyone else. It's not the most exciting story in the world, but I definitely got lucky joining the right server at the right time all those months ago. What is your current mental state? What color is your toothbrush? Polka dot. Still plan to do how-to videos? Probably not. I got tired of making those a long time ago because they were very tedious to write and they all felt the same. Kinda like ᴘᴇᴏᴘᴘᴜ, except he still makes them despite hating them. Even if that was some people's favorite content on this channel, I would still rather make stuff I give a shit about. Did you like the outcome of the Super Bowl? Not really. What was it, like the Eagles versus the Patriots or some shit? I knew the Eagles were gonna win from the start because they can fucking fly. Can you do a Dr. Seuss rhyme? Yeah, sure. Roses are red, violets are blue, my dick goes from Utah to Timbuktu. Do you write your jokes and monologues out beforehand, or is it all improvised? All the jokes you hear in my CS videos are shit that I've come up with, and most of it is improvised. There's a couple that are either written or jokes I've made before. For example, the insults like, "I bet you're the kind of fucking retard that rolls out the chapstick and takes a bite," is the kind of thing I'll come up with and then save for the perfect moment. But for the most part, everything is just come up with on the spot, including the monologues and speeches. Will we ever see you play other games? It's possible if I find another game I like as much as CS. I made a PUBG video and an Overwatch video way back, but scrapped both of them because I felt they weren't good enough and they never saw the light of day. So I'd have to find a game where I feel like I can make the same kind of quality content with it the same way I do with CS. Show us your setup. This is my keyboard. It's a Razer Black Widow Tournament Edition with built-in LED sound and thumbtack protection. This is my mouse. It's a Razer Death Adder Fish Tank Edition with UV protection up to SPF 50 and detachable batteries. This is my monitor. It's an Orff EQ248CG with anti-HDMI hardware and built-in Facebook compatibility. This is my microphone. It's a Shure SM58 wind-type ball-proof Steel Series Little Tykes Chroma Edition with a built-in 3.5mm Asperger's jack and 250 lumens of phantom power. This is my keyboard. I just wanted to show it to you again to prove it has thumbtack protection. And finally, here's my PC case, and here's all the shit that's inside. Oh shit, this one's kind of deep. When thinking about life and the aspects of life, knowing that we are born and we die, why'd you choose to do YouTube given that there is so much more you could be doing? Well, to that I say, sure, I could become an astrophysicist, make a shit ton of money and get some space clout, but I would be bored out of my fucking skull. Everyone has so much more they could be doing, but that doesn't mean they should try to be everything. So to answer your question, the reason I chose YouTube over everything else is because that's what I enjoy most of all. What is the most annoying question that people ask you? Probably, when is the face reveal? And the answer to that is, it's gonna be at VidCon in June. So look out for that. What's your favorite meme? It used to be Arthur's Fist, which is what I said in my 3K Q&A, but now recently it's updated to Jimmy Barnes screaming for 10 hours. So what is the most memorable experience you had when you were high? Mine was laying out in the driveway for an hour not realizing that I was outside. That sounds like a blast, I'm not gonna lie, but I'll tell you mine. So a couple of years ago, there was a period of time where I had a weed dealer that was in his 40s, which sounds pretty fucking sketch, I know, it was. But he only lived like 10 blocks away, and he would always give you way more weed than what you paid for, just because he had so much. So I went over there one day to buy a 10-sack, and he had a whole bunch of his 40-year-old friends over getting fucking blasted off of dabs. And I'll shoehorn this in really quick. If you don't know what a dab is, it's essentially a hit of highly concentrated weed oil, so it gets you a lot more fucked than a hit of regular weed. So I ended up buying my 10-sack, and then my 40-year-old boy offered me a dab hit right there and then. So me being 15 years old, I was like, fucking, I want to impress these guys. So I take the dab, cough my lungs out, and then walk home baked off my ass. And I get there, and I realize my parents are still home, so I'm like, fuck, there's no way I'm going in there. They're gonna notice I'm high right away. If not from my appearance, then probably from the smell of hanging out with a bunch of 40-year-old dudes, hotboxing their whole fucking house with dabs. So what I do is I climb over our fence into our backyard, and I sit down against a tree to give myself some time to sober up. And then, after what feels like 5 minutes, all of a sudden the sky is dark, and I check my watch and realize that 4 hours have passed. I hadn't even fallen asleep. I had literally just spaced the fuck out for 4 hours. And that's probably the most memorable experience I've ever had while high, just because of how surreal it felt to observe time almost skip forward in the blink of an eye. Will at least half these questions even make it in your video? In total, I got 838 questions. If we divide that in half, we're left with 419. Say each question takes me 10 seconds to answer, that would take 4,190 seconds, or 70 minutes, or an hour and 10 minutes. So if I were to answer anywhere between half of the questions to all of the questions, the total length of the video would fall between an hour and 10 minutes and 2 hours and 20 minutes. So to answer your question, no. That's all the questions. Thanks for watching. But seriously, thanks again guys for 100k subs. Every time I look at my channel and I see that number, I feel like I'm looking at somebody else. And I realize it's me, and it really is a fucking childhood dream come true. I'll see you all again real soon with another stupid CS video, so look out for that. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Adios.